Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma and this here is my little craft corner where I talk about knitting and sometimes other yarn related stuff. But today I wanted to take you through all my works in progress. I have about 12 here. I just counted them and it's about 12, so that's a lot. I always thought I was someone who was really a one whip girl, someone who just starts a project, finishes it, moves on to the next. But after knitting for 1.5 years, I figured out I am not that girl. I really want to be that girl, but there are a lot of whips here. You can see them piling up a bit here. Yeah, let me talk you through them. I thought it would be fun to go like oldest to newest-ish. Like I don't keep record of when exactly I start projects, but this is about like the oldest to newest whip I have here. And let me start out with an honorable mention for this garter stitch thing. It was supposed to be Camisole blanket. I started this about 10 years ago, I think. Never finished it. I don't think I will be finishing this. It's knit on 4mm needles. I cannot tell you what yarn it is, but as you will see in my most recent cast on, I could use this yarn for something else. I think I'll be frogging this because I can cast it off. I'm not going to be making the blanket, but I can cast it off, but that would just be a waste of perfectly good yarn that I can use for my most recent work in progress, and I'll show you in just a little bit. Then I have something that started in July of last year, and I stopped it right around the point where it got interesting. This is supposed to be the white top by Knitting for Olive in Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino. It's a beautiful yarn, beautiful pattern, a 2x2 ribbing, but I just got around the point where I even put stitch markers in. I was supposed to do the shaping around the bust, and I just stopped because I kind of felt intimidated by it because I was not really a very good knitter at that time. So I started feeling very intimidated by this pattern, and I didn't really know if it is a bottom-up pattern, so I always find it very hard to gauge where I need to start doing shaping for the armholes and everything. I just didn't know with this if I made the right decision or if I should have knit a bit more before doing all the interesting bust shaping. So I just kind of stopped knitting on it, and I have been wanting to pick it up ever since, but I think I might just frog a bit back because I did break the yarn somewhere. I broke the yarn like right before I stopped. So just move it over a bit and start doing the bust shaping. And then the doubts came creeping in and I just stopped knitting altogether. So I don't know how or when or if I'll finish it, but I'm very much still interested in the pattern. I'm still interested in the yarn, but it's just going to be a bit of a hassle to get it on the needles again. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know, stay tuned, but I don't know. This is not going to be frogged anytime soon, I think, just because I did do a lot of labor knitting 2x2 ribbing in 3mm needles. It took me a while to get to this point, and now I don't want that to be all in vain, but I also not really super happy with where I stopped doing just the ribbing and started on doing the shaping. So I don't know, it's maybe for next summer good projects to work on, but I also have other priorities. We'll see, but this is, I think, going to be a whip for a very long time. And I think it's going to be untouched for a very long time as well. Then I have my folklore cardigan. I did get pretty far in this. I knit the entire back panel. And I made good progress on the left front. That's this side. And I just got up to the point where you need to start doing the decreases. I think I did a decrease here already. So yeah, I'm starting to do the decreases. I see that I slipped some stitches. I don't know. I'll figure that out later. But because I'm not really knitting on gauge, I kind of needed to figure out, because you need to do the V-neck shaping. It's bottom up, so you need to do the V-neck shaping and the armhole shaping at different points, and I need to figure out where I need to start those, and then I need to kind of write it down, because then on the other side, the right front, I want those to be symmetric, and I want to end up with enough stitches. Like, I want to end up at the right point at the right time, but I don't know how I'll get there because I'm not really on gauge that much. I'm knitting this in drop snip haul in the colors natural and the black, and on 5mm needles, which I don't know if that's the recommended needle size or anything, but it's not really on gauge, but it is going pretty well, and I really want to have this cardigan, but it's taking me a little bit. I don't find the pattern to be that difficult. Like, once I got the hang of doing cables and keeping track of all the repeats, it was fine. Like, even this entire cable thing that's running down the middle of the back, like this diamond shape one, was not too difficult, and I really like how it's turning out, but I just need to get knitting again and get, like, put in a little bit of brain power for this one, and it'll be fine completely. I just need to match, like, the armhole needs to match this armhole, and then the V-neck. It's mostly the V-neck that's really annoying, because I don't want it to be like starting too low or starting too high that I need to do rapid decreases all of a sudden. I'm just not sure how this will go, but I know that it will go, and it will be pretty nice once I get around to it. But this just needs brain power, and I think I started this last September, and yeah, it just needs brain power. And I'm now seeing that I don't have the needles on this anymore, but I do have the huge cable here that I really want for something else that I'll show you in a bit. It's also my most recent whip, my most recent cast on. I really want this cable for that, so I need to transfer some cables around. This exercise has proven to be really fun as knowing where all my cables and needles are, because I lost track of some of them, and now I found it in here, which is great because I really need this cable. Then let me just, there are lots of yarn everywhere. Then I have this, and I took the needles out of this one, so that's it's not, this video is not like a frog it or finish it, but this is a frog it. It's this sock. It is the slip stitch sock, I believe. Let me just, this is slipped, and then it's really beautiful and it's really fun, and it was really quick to knit, but I got right over the heel and I tried it on and it didn't fit, or it was just very tight fitting. Like, this all just stretched out incredibly. So I needed to knit a bigger size, and I didn't really have the heart yet to rip it all out. So yeah, I am going to do it. This was like an October cast on, and I quit knitting this also in October, I think, because this took me like a week or something. Yeah, but I think, well, I know I'm going to rip it out and knit it again, because I really like this pattern and I really like this yarn and I really like the combination, but I just need to get over myself and just frog this and start again. But I also have so many other socks that I want to knit that this one has just not been top of mind for me, but it is a really nice, like, spring color. It's not really, it's a long sock, so it's not really suitable for spring or summer, but It is a nice spring color, so maybe I can get back on this soon-ish. But I have enough socks in it as is right now. I believe I have like 10 sock quantities laying around. So I'm fine on the sock department. And this is just on the back burner for a bit. But this, if you're wondering where this went, because I think I talked about this in one knitting podcast and then never again. It's still here. It's just not being worked on at the moment. I feel like this is a really fun video for people who watch, who have watched me for a little bit and are just like, where did all the projects go that you talked about? And then they just disappeared. They're all here. They're still whips. And I have mixed feelings about them. Then I have this, and this is, I think this is in my most completed stage of all my whips. This is the sweater number 16 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. And it looks really long, but it is actually a bit too short. I bought, I believe I bought like 8 skeins of this. And I ran out of yarn just like a couple centimeters before wanting to do the bind off. And I have been wanting to go back to the yarn store to buy more. At one point, I think I cast this on in October or something. And I went to the yarn store that sold me this and they were out of yarn. Then I went to another yarn store that only sells Katja, because this is the Katja Basic Merino, I believe. In color number 22, if I'm not mistaken. Like a really, really bright red color. I went back to another yarn store that only sells Katja yarn. And they were out, but they were like, oh, I'm going to order it for you. I'm placing the order right now, so you'll have it next week. And then I'll have my number, and they never called. And then later, I found out that the yarn store is closed temporarily because there are some health issues going on with the owner or someone in the owner's family. I don't really know. So yeah, I'm just waiting for an extra skein. I think I might go back to the first yarn store where I originally bought the yarn and ask if they can order a new skein for me. But like winter's almost already over, so I'm not going to be wearing this this season anyway. But like it's just like 5 more centimeters before bind off, so I really want this done so that I just have the sweater. It's super thick and warm and wow, so I'm not going to be wearing this. Like even now in spring it is super warm. I mean inside, outside it's pretty warm-ish as well most of the time, or it's just raining, or it's mixed weather, but it's not wearing a very thick turtleneck sweater weather. Yeah, this was one of my favorite things to knit before I started knitting other sweaters. I love this so much. I believe this is called the saddle shoulder that it has, and it is such a nice pattern, such a nice yarn, and I cannot wait to have this in my wardrobe. But I'll have to wait until I have a new extra skein for this, and then I'll have to wait for it to become winter again. But I'm well set for next winter. I have my first sweater ready for that. Then I have another October cast on, I believe, and that is my Camisole number 5 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. And this, if you've been following me for a while, you know how I am knitting this. I just did all this shaping like pretty quickly, and then it became a slog to knit. So I decided to do 1 round a day, and I started right here in January. Then this is January, February is my next stitch marker, and March, and then halfway through March I just stopped. Whoops. But I'm also almost there. I have like a little bit of yarn left in my skein, so I'll just knit until my skein is done with, and then I'll cast it off. But casting off has proven to be really difficult for me. I have a few things that are like Italian bind off really takes a long time. and I'm not mentally prepared for that yet. So I think that's why I'm not knitting this to the point where I need to do the Italian bind off, just because I don't want to do the Italian bind off. It's that easy. Yeah, I should just finish this because then it's over, and then I can move on to the neck and arm shapings, like the details, and then it's just done, ready for spring and summer. But this, it fits me really, really nicely. I'm so excited to wear this all summer long. This is knit in Katja Concept Cashmere. No, Katja Concept Cotton Cashmere. If you've been here a while, you know I'm struggling with this always. This is the Cotton Cashmere from Katja Concept. And I love it so much. Colorway is Pistache. Don't know the color number, but it's the Pistache colorway. And it is so nice and soft, and I cannot wait to wear this all summer long. But I need to get over myself, do the Italian bind off, and then we're fine. So then I have just a couple more whips left to show you. This is a December cast on, so we're getting into more later territories. This is the Mind Trick Socks by Mr. Knitbear and Dan Dennis from the book Happily Knitting Socks. And I just love this so much. It fits me quite well. I just need to get over myself and do the last few pattern repeats on the foot, and then it's done. But there's just other things that took priority over this. So yeah, that sucks a bit, but there are other things that took priority. So this is just kind of a forgotten whip in my pile. Like, I haven't knit on this for maybe a month or two, I think. It was also very, well, not traumatic, of course, but very annoying because I knit all the way down to here, I believe, and then I had to frog all the way down there because I knit the wrong size or wrong size needles, or it just didn't fit at all. So that was super annoying. So I had to redo a lot, and then I kind of was over it, and I wanted to knit something else in the meantime. And I've knit a lot of something else's in the meantime, but I've not finished a lot of something else's. But this is something that I really want to knit on once my other whips die down a bit. I just really want to pick this back up and go for it and finish them. This is also the first sock, so I need to do a whole other sock after this. That's annoying, but I'll manage. It's fine. It's just, I need to get over myself and just do it, and then I have some socks, and I really, really want these socks in my wardrobe, which I want everything that I'm knitting to be in my wardrobe right away. Lots of things have become project-based knits for me instead of process knits, because I start out thinking, oh, this process is so fun of knitting this, and then it turns out that I need to do like 30 more centimeters of stockinette, and I'm like over it. It starts to become a project knit where I just want the finished object right now. Yeah, it's just a weird mix between the two. I also have that with this whip. This is my sweater number 15 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. And I have bound up the body, and I just need to do the sleeves and the collar, and then I'm done. Yeah, this has not been knit on for a bit because I need to pick up for the sleeves. And I did that once, and then I turned out with like 36 stitches too less. And I just didn't really want to do it again, and I just didn't, basically. And then test knits came along. I needed to knit the sweater in a month. That's still in my whip pile, but I'll talk about that later. I needed to knit a lot in like a short amount of time, and then this kind of got on the back burner. But I'm picking this up soon to do the sleeves and then the collar, and then we're finished. And I have a sweater. And it is a pretty heavy sweater, but I feel like it is more casual, and I can wear this somewhere like on the summer evenings or something. Whereas the other sweater, I don't feel like I can do that because it is so tight that it will just hug everywhere and be very warm. And with this, it will also be very warm, but it will not hug me that much because it is a very oversized sweater. So I believe it's more of a loungy sweater that I can wear inside or outside on cold summer evenings or something like that. So I still see potential for this in the upcoming months to wear. And I just need to finish it, really. That's the whole thing. And then it's done and I have a sweater in my wardrobe that I'm really, really, really excited about. Then my very recent cast-ons, because this was a March cast-on. I don't know what happened, but this is December, this is March. Don't know what happened in between. This is a casual cable sock by Lemon Squeezy Knits. And you might say, oh, this is a finished object. Yeah, but it's only one sock and I was supposed to knit two. So I need to cast on the second sock and knit it. I think I did this in a week or a week and a half or so. So it's a pretty quick knit, but I just need to get over myself and knit the second sock. I need to get over myself with all of these whips and just do it. But this, it's just so fun. It's a mock cable pattern and it fits perfectly. I'm knitting this in onion nettle sock yarn. This is Holland Creatief Peruvian Highland wool, by the way. Knitting this in onion nettle sock yarn, and it is just so soft and cozy, and it hugs my feet pretty well because this also serves as some ribbing, and this is just flat, so it hugs my feet really nicely. And I cannot wait to wear these inside the house all day, every day. But I just need to knit another sock. It's super annoying, but oh well. Then, I forgot to show you this one. This monkey is also still in my whip pile. I really wanted to finish this before my neighbor's third child was born. The child was born end of February and it's still here. I'm doing the second foot now and I only need to do the arms and then the tail. And then I need to stuff it. And I need to do the mouth part, then embroider the eyes on it and a mouth, and yeah, it will be finished. And I think if I really set myself to it, it will be done next week at the latest. But I just haven't really felt the motivation to finish it really quickly because now the baby's here anyway, so who cares. But I really want to have this done and finished and gifted. Yeah, this monkey is here as well. It's knit in opal regenwoud yarn. And I don't know what the colorway is, but the picture on the wrapper had like a fish on it. So I think it is a fish colorway, but it has a name, but I forgot it. So yeah, it's knit up in that yarn. And then this is just leftover drops Fable, the sock yarn, in just a white color to do the foot and the face and the hands, and I don't think the tail will be knit in that, but it's a really cute monkey and I cannot wait to finish it. And then I just have one last whip to talk about in all my videos. And then I wanted to say it was the last one, but I lifted it up and there's another one under there, of course. This is also a March cast on. And this is my Amadeo summer sweater by Colibri by Johanna. And this, I'm currently binding off the body. And then I just need to do one more sleeve and then it's finished. So potentially I could finish this in a week because I knit the other sleeve in like 3 days or something. So kind of a bell sleeve situation here. And then it's just beautiful pattern. It is a fingering weight sweater knit in 3.5 millimeter yarn. I'm on 3.5 millimeter needles. I'm using sport weight yarn, so just a bit of a tighter knit for me, a bit of a thicker knit, but I'm still meeting gauge, so all is fine. And this is just very, very comfy to wear. The sleeves are just incredibly beautiful with the lace details. And it is a summer sweater, so I will wear it throughout spring and throughout the colder days on summer and autumn, really. And if winter gets really hot, I'll wear it in winter as well. But I'm just super, super in love with this. I'm knitting it in Lana Glossa Cool Wool Melange. Lana Glossa Cool Wool Melange. And this is just so beautiful. I'm not sure what colorway this is whatsoever. I'm not sure if this yarn is even out of stock or just, I don't know. I couldn't find it anywhere on the internet, so if it's not there anymore, I'm sorry. Like, I love this yarn, but it's also really prone to breaking. Like, if you tug on it a bit too hard, it breaks. You have to tug really hard, but it does break sometimes. So that's a bit sucky if you don't want your yarn to break. Yeah, it breaks sometimes, and it happens, and it's fine. But if you do happen to find the yarn somewhere, be aware that it can break. I mean, that's with every yarn, but this has broken on me a couple times throughout the sweater, and it's fine, but just something to be aware of, I think. And this sweater, I love it. I've talked about it in my recent videos a lot, and I'll talk about it in my next podcast a lot as well. Yeah, I just really love it. And then my most recent cast on, using the oldest yarn in my stash, is this Excavation Blanket. And this I started about a week ago, so it's going pretty quickly. You just knit back and forth, and then it's a free pattern, so I feel like I can say this. And then you increase on like the sides every time. And you knit back and forth in one color, and then you cut the yarn, and then you use that as a tassel. So there are lots of stripes, but no weaving in ends, which is fantastic. And then this will just go on until I think the blanket is long and wide enough, and then you decrease, and the tassels will be on that side. And then you have a finished blanket. I feel like this is going to be taking me either a year or a few months, because right now it's super addictive to knit it, but the rows are getting longer and longer and longer. I think the pattern suggests that you end up with 370 something stitches. So that's a lot to knit back and forth all the way. But it is in garter stitches, only knitting, and that's perfect. And I really love this, but this is why I want the longer cables, because I'm already at the end of my 60 centimeter cable almost. And I can also use the older yarn I just showed you to substitute for this. I am knitting this in 6 different colors, and I'm trying not to make a pattern just because I don't have an equal amount of yarn for every color. So if I happen to run out of one color or add in another color, I don't want it to be too noticeable, and I think this is the best way to do that. Just don't really make a pattern out of it. Yeah, I'm knitting this on all scraps that my grandma gave me, like scraps that I used to knit with when I was very young, like 10 years ago, and she just gave me all the skeins of yarn, and it's all blue yarn, and I thought it would be perfect to just use the yarn in this blanket. And yeah, I'm really excited to see where this is going, but this is a cast on of like a week ago. So yeah, this is all my whips, oldest to newest, like 10 years ago to maybe 10 days ago. And I really enjoyed showing you all this. I have a lot of messes to clean up around me. I just threw all the yarn on the floor. And yeah, I'll do that. And if you like to see more of me, if you like to stay updated and see where, for example, this blanket will go, subscribe to me and watch my next videos. My next knitting podcasts are always where I update you on everything I did throughout the entire month. So if you want to stay updated with all my whips and see where they go, make sure you subscribe to my channel and make sure you watch my knitting podcast. I'll see you again real soon. Bye!